वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। बरहापीडं नटवरवपु कर्णयो कर्णिकारं बिभ्रद्वासः कनककपिशं वैजयन्तीं च मालां रन्ध्रान् वेणुरधरसुधया पूरयन् गोपवृन्दै वृन्दारण्यं स्वपदरमणम् प्राविशद्गीतकीर्ति। नमः कमलनाभाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्ध्वं हदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। आदरणीय पंडित जी, प्रिय भक्त समुदाय, महानुभाव, most worshipful Pandit ji, our Pandits, devotees of the Supreme Lord, the Divine Souls, dearest devotees. First let me say Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to all of you. Very special welcome to viewers on Bhakti TV. This evening we want to say special thanks to our sponsor for bringing Bhakti TV live, Bonanza Drugs of 49 Eastern Main Road, Sawa, and telephone number 674-1465, 674-1465. We want to thank the sponsor very much. To all our viewers who've seen us live, Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to all of you. As customary, we'll chant the divine name of the Lord for a few minutes, following which we'll listen to some spiritual talk. Bhajo Giridhar Govinda Gopala Bhajo Giridhar Govinda Gopala Bhajo Giridhar Govinda भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
हो भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला भजो
गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
हो भजो मुरली मनोहर नंदलाला
भजो मुरली मनोहर नंदलाला
बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। अब सावधान हो जाइए। Let's try to be very attentive now and listen carefully. Monday coming, 14th of February, is celebrated throughout the world as Valentine's Day, Lovers' Day. Celebration of love, especially love of husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, lovers. What is this thing called love? And can anyone really love in the world? There are three things. Three things. One is lena, lena, to take and only take. This is also called lust, calm. One is lena, dena, to give and take. That is called business, vyapar. You go to a store, you give a shopkeeper a certain amount of money, he gives you a certain amount of goods in return. And one is dena, dena, to give and only give and want nothing in return. That is called love. We have been well taught and are well practiced in lena, lena, only taken, and lena, dena, give and take. You love me, I love you. Don't love me, get lost. You do what I want, I love you. Don't do what I want, leave me. So we have been well practiced in these two, well taught. But no one has ever taught us to give and only give, and want nothing in return. This is what is called love. This is what we have to learn. This thing called love, why is it not in the world? Shankar Bhagwan says to Parvati in the Ramayana, जाते कछु निज स्वार्थ होई, तापर ममता कर सब कोई। सुर नर मुनि सब कह यह रीति, स्वार्थ लागी करई सब प्रीति। जय राम श्री राम जय जय
राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
जाते कछु निज स्वार्थ होई, तापर ममता करई सब कोई। The basis of all worldly affection, worldly love, attachment is selfishness. Where there is some selfish gain, selfishness is being fulfilled. Jate kachu nij swarth. Nij swarth. Swarth means selfishness. Nij, one's own happiness, selfishness. Mamata, attachment, love. Not only human beings, Sura Nara Muni, Devatas, Rishi Muni, Sabakaya Hariti, Swarat Lagi, selfishness is fulfilled, Karahi Sab Priti, love is shown. It's nature. When we do what someone wants, you fulfill their selfishness, I love you. And you don't do what they want, or somebody doesn't do what you want, that selfish aim is harmed, I hate you. The same love becomes hate. Everyone, mother, father, wife, husband, child, everyone. The more the outward love and affection is shown, the greater is the selfishness involved. Keep this in mind. As my Guru, Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu would say, write it in gold. Don't keep it in mind. One day we're going to repent when we are unexpectedly deceived. The surprising thing is that we ourselves makes these false pretensions with others to fulfill our selfishness. We give false praise, flatter, when we want something. But we are deceived when others make the same pretension with us, thinking it to be the real thing. The reason for this blindness on our part is that we consider ourselves to be very smart and everybody else to be foolish. But this kind of thinking only certifies how foolish we really are. It's a nature. The scripture says, Sarva Swartham Samihate. As long as we are under Maya, as long as we are material beings, everyone is selfish by nature. Everyone. Sukhaya karmani karoti loko natai sukham bhadaruparamam va vindeta bhuyas tata eva dukkham yadatta yuktam bhagavan vadena. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 3rd canto, 5th chapter, 2nd verse. You see, we all want happiness, sukh. Our own happiness. It's our nature. Being a fraction of happiness. Fraction of happiness? Yeah. We, not body. Body belongs to us. We, Jivatma, the soul, is a fraction, an eternal part, fraction of God. Chinmatam Shri Hareransham Suksham Aksharam Avyam Krishna dinamiti prahu jivam jnana gunashrayam ved. The Vedas say the soul is a fraction, a part of God, ansh. Vedant Sutra says, Veda Vyas says, ansho nana vyapadeshat. The souls are parts, fraction of God. In Gita, Sri Krishna also says, Mama evansho jivaloke jiva bhutah sanatanaha. Chapter 15, verse 7, Gita. Sri Krishna says the Jivatma, the individual souls, are eternal parts, fraction of Him. Ramayana, Ishvara ansha jiva avinashi, chetana amala sahaj sukha rasi. Ishvara ansha jiva. The soul is avinashi, indestructible, eternal, and eternal fraction of God, part of God. And who is God? What is God? God is Anand. Another name for God in the scripture is Anand, bliss, happiness. Anando brahmeti vajanat ananda deva khalvimani bhutani janti anandina jatani jivanti anandam prayantabhi samvishanti. Taittiriya Upanishad chapter 3 verse 6. The Veda says God is Anand, bliss, happiness. From Anand alone the entire universe comes into being. Anand or bliss is that by which we are sustained, and Anand or bliss is that into which we merge upon death. And it's a natural law that every part, every fraction has a natural love for the whole and wants to become one with it. So being eternal fractions of Sri Krishna, God, it means we naturally love and want only God. Everyone is a devotee of God. Loke nahi sa vidyeta yonarama manubrataha. Valmiki Ramayana. Valmiki ji says it's impossible to find an individual soul that doesn't truly love and want God. Tusidas ji says in the Ramayana, Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Bolo Ram.
Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Bolo Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Bolo
Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
अस को जीव जंतु जग माही जेहि रघुनाथ प्राण प्रिय नाय बोलो
राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम
अस को जीव जंतु जग माही जेहि रघुनाथ प्राण प्रिय नाही. Tusidas ji mentions both the animate as well as inanimate beings. Then he says that to all of them Sri Ram is as dear as life. It's natural. This is a natural law. All rivers naturally flow to the ocean, being a fraction of the ocean. All flames of fire naturally rises upwards, being a fraction of the sun. We, the individual souls, being eternal fractions of Sri Krishna, naturally love and want only Sri Krishna. Even if we are an atheist, we don't believe in God. Because Sri Krishna is happiness. Another name for Sri Krishna is happiness, bliss. Everyone wants happiness. Whether you believe in God or not. Call him happiness, that's a name for him. in the Vedas. Name doesn't matter. So our nature is to want our own happiness. But from beginningless time, we have been looking in the wrong place. Because of ignorance, agyan, because we have forgotten that we are the soul, Atma. Identifying with the physical body, we have been looking from beginningless time in the material world, material people, material objects. And that's why we've not even found the tiniest drop of happiness, not even in dream. Because we're looking in the wrong place. Now, it is natural. Once we make a decision in our mind that this person or object, because we want happiness, we're looking for it. We've always been. And the decision comes in our mind, this person will make me happy, this thing will make me happy. This alcohol, this cigarette, this weed, this drug, this Coca-Cola, this amount of money, this kind of house, this kind of motor car, this kind of boy, this kind of girl. We think about them again, that thing or that person again and again. Shri Krishna says in Gita, Dhyayato Vishayan Punsa Sangasteshu Pajayate. Chapter 2, verse 66, Gita. Chapter 2, verse 62, Gita. When we think again and again, that some person or object can give us happiness, can make us happy, we get attached, we fall in love, as you would say in the world. And we keep going after it. Eventually, we don't get anything. We end up getting pain and suffering instead. The same boy, the same girl who you wanted to die for. People say, I will die for you, my darling. I will give you the moon and the stars. I will give my life for you. These kind of words they speak. And then get married, you start living together, and then you don't want to see that person anymore. Now you want to kill them. Because they don't have happiness. You're looking to that person for happiness, and that person is looking to you to make them happy. People look for, there's a thing in the world nowadays, people are looking for soulmate. I get married to this guy and it didn't work out. I divorced him. I didn't find my soulmate as yet. We keep looking for soul. There is a soulmate. Soulmate means one who will give us true happiness. The only one who would give us true happiness. But that soulmate is known as Shri Krishna. He is happiness, but we haven't been able to be convinced of that. Just as how we think again and again, any person or object can give me happiness, and we get attached, we fall in love. In the same way, if somebody can convince us, and this is where true guru comes, the true saint. A worldly person cannot do that. We have read these scriptures, this Gita, Bhagavad, Ved, Ramayana. We have heard this uncountable time, all these philosophies. Sanatan Dharma is eternal, beginningless. Sanatan itself, the word means Sanatan means eternal, beginningless. Uncountable time we have read these books, heard lectures, nothing has happened. So that knowledge we'll get only from a true guru, a true saint. Shri Krishna tells us in Gita, Tad viripranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshante te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Chapter 4, verse 34, Gita. if you're so fortunate to meet the true Guru, bona fide saint, what's the true Guru? Two things qualify him to be Guru. Jnaninaha, number one. Number two, Tattvadarshinaha. Jnaninaha means he has complete knowledge of all the Vedas, all the scriptures, Gita, Bhagavad, Puran, all. Complete knowledge. And he is able to make us understand also. But even more important, Tattvadarshinaha. He has seen God. He has attained the divine vision, divine bliss, divine love, divine knowledge of God. If you are able, if you're so fortunate to meet such an entity, what should you do? Shri Krishna says, Tadvirip pranipatena. Pranipat means completely surrender. Surrender the mind, intellect to him. Don't apply the mind, intellect. Pariprashnena. Ask him question because you have doubt. Not to see how much you know or show how much you know, but because you don't understand, you have doubt. Acquiring true knowledge. And number three, sevaya. Do his seva, serve him. He will give you true knowledge. Guru alone gives knowledge. Guru binu hoi ki gyan. But he has to be bona fide saint. If he's on a maya, he has a material mind, material intellect, and he's going to give you the wrong philosophy. He might be worse off than you. That case would be the case of blind leading the blind. The Vedas say, Avidyaya mantare vartamana swayam dhira panditam manyamana janghanyamana paryanti murha andhe naivaniyamana yathandha. Mundak Upanishad, first Mundak, second Kand, 8 mantra. Those people who consider themselves to be wise, they have read a lot of books. Lot of books they have read. Ved, Puran, all kind of books. And they think themselves to be knowledgeable. But they preach about happiness in the world. To go to heaven. That happiness is in heaven. How to get the material world. They teach you how to acquire the material world. They are fools. Fools. Blind. And those who believe them and go to them, they are even more blind. More blind. They are going to hell and taking you with them. Not me, Ved the saint. Ved, the highest authority. Now look, this word love, understand a little bit about it. As I told you, this is a divine, this thing called love is a divine thing. It doesn't exist in the world. Shri Krishna has infinite powers. A name for Shri Krishna in the Vedas is Anant. The word Anant means infinite, that everything God has is infinite. Anantaschatma Vishwarupo Hyakarta Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Ved. Anantanama Rupaya Ved. Everything. Uncountable name, uncountable pastimes, uncountable virtues, uncountable powers, everything. But amongst the uncountable powers he has, three are most important. Krishner Ananta Shakti Tatitin Pradhan Chit Shakti Maya Shakti Jiva Shakti Nam Antaranga Bahiranga Tatastha Kahijare Antaranga Sharupa Shakti Sharup Shabar Upare Chaitanya Charitamrita. The three main powers of Sri Krishna, Chit Shakti, Jiva Shakti, Maya Shakti. Chit Shakti is also known as Swarup Shakti or Antaranga Shakti, personal potency. Jeev Shakti is also known as Tatastha Shakti or marginal power. As even though it's a power, a fraction of Sri Krishna, it's also under the control of Maya. And Maya Shakti is known as Bahiranga Shakti or external potency. This is also mentioned in Vishnu Puran. Vishnu Shakti Para Prokta Kshetagya Kya Tatha Para Avidya Karma Sangyana Tritiya Shakti Ruchyate. Vishnu Puran. Now amongst the three most important powers, Chit Shakti, Jeev Shakti, Maya Shakti, the Chit Shakti or Swarup Shakti is the most important power, the most intimate power of Sri Krishna. This Swarup Shakti again is divided into three categories. Hladini, Sandhini, Sambit. Hladini, Sandhini, Sambit, Tvaye ka sarva sanshaye. Hladata pakari mishra tvaino guna varjite. Vishnu Puran. Now, we all know that God has three aspects. Supreme power God has three aspects. Sat, Chit, Anand. Sat refers to supreme existence. Chit refers to supreme knowledge. Anand refers to supreme bliss. So the Swarup Shakti of Bhagavan in the Sat aspect is known as Sandhini. The Swarup Shakti of Sri Krishna in the Chit aspect is known as Samvit. The Swarup Shakti of Sri Krishna in the Anand aspect is known as Hladini. Sat Chit Anandamay Krishnera Swarup Atev Swarup Shakti Hai Tinarup Anandanshe Hladini Sandanshe Sandhini Chidanshe Shambhit Jare Jnana Karimani. Chaitanya Chaitamrit. Now we've heard before, but just a reminder, Sat, the Sat aspect of Sri Krishna merges into Chit. So Chit contains both existence as well as knowledge. And Sat and Chit merges into Anand. So Anand contains all three of existence, knowledge as well as bliss. So the Anand aspect of Sri Krishna is the highest. This is why Sri Krishna is also called Anand. Another name for Bhagwan is Anand. In the same way, the highest aspect of Swarup Shakti of Sri Krishna is known as Hladini Shakti or bliss potency. Furthermore, Hladini Shar Anshutar Premana. The essence, the highest point of this Hladini Shakti is called Prem, love. Those who know Hindi will know the word Prem means love. Love. And the highest point of this Prem, love, is known as Mahabhav or Radharani. Shri Krishna, just to go back briefly, just to help you understand, God has uncountable powers. Out of the uncountable powers, the three most important are Chit Shakti, Jeev Shakti, Maya Shakti. Out of these three, Chit Shakti or Swarup Shakti is the most intimate power of Sri Krishna. This Swarup Shakti is divided into three categories. Hladini, Sandhini, Samvit. Out of which the Hladini Shakti is the most intimate of power of Sri Krishna. And the highest point of this Hladini Shakti is known as Prem, divine love. Sri Krishna is willing to give everything to anyone who comes to him except Prem, Bhakti, divine love. he tries his best not to give that. Kag Basundaji is extremely dear to Bhagwan. But he says to Kag Basundaji, काघ बुसुंदी मांगु भर अति प्रसन्न मोहि जान हो रामा अति प्रसन्न मोहि जान अनिमादिक सिद्धि अपर निधि मोक्ष सकल सुख खान हो रामा मोक्ष सकल सुख खान सियावर रामचंद्र कर जय शरण शंकर हरि ओम जय
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम.
Bhagwan is saying, the Lord is saying to Kag Basundaji, his very dear devotee, O Kag Basundaji, I am extremely pleased with you, Ati Prasanna. I will give you anything you desire. Ask me for anything. Kag Basundaji says to the Lord, my Lord, I don't want anything. I have you, I don't want anything. And besides, what are you going to give me? Bhagwan says, you want to hear? Yeah. Oh, listen to some of the things I give. Animadik Siddhi. Siddhi is the powers to perform miracle. Anima, Laghima, Garima, etc. People think it's something great. Nidhi, great treasure. And Moksha, the best of attainments. He's trying to fool. On the one hand, he's saying that I am extremely pleased with you. You are very dear to me. On the other hand, he's trying to deceive him. Why? Because there was nothing in moksha, liberation. Nothing? What do you mean nothing? Brahmanand, which is the bliss of the formless absolute Brahm, there is infinite bliss. But the one who attains Brahmanand, moksha, experiences nothing. You see, the thing that experiences happiness or bliss or sorrow, dukkha, sukha, is the mind. Mind. The jnani, the one who is striving to attain moksha, liberation, destroys the mind. And the soul, the Atma, which is a non-doer, merges and becomes one with the formless absolute Brahmanand. There's infinite happiness, but there is no experiencer. Nothing. A devotee does not want moksha. A devotee will never say, Aham Brahmasmi, Shivoham, Shivoham, I am God, I am God. No. A devotee says, Dasoham, Dasoham, I am the Das, the servant of Sri Krishna. So Sri Krishna doesn't want to give bhakti, prem, divine love. Why? There's a reason, there's a secret. The answer is found in Bhagavad Mahapuran. Bhagwan Shri Krishna says to Durvasa Muni, Aham bhakta paradhino yaswatantra ivadvija sadhu bhirgrasta hridayo bhaktair bhakta janapriya. 9th canto, 4th chapter, 63rd verse. Durvasa Muni tried to harm a devotee of Sri Krishna, Ambarish. Bhagwan sent his Sudarshan Chakra, his weapon, after Durvasa. Nobody, he ran everywhere, Shiv, Brahma, everyone, no one will give shelter. Finally, Shivji advised him, go and take shelter in the Lord. So he went and fell at the feet of Bhagwan Krishna, begging for forgiveness to save him. Shri Krishna says, I cannot help you. I cannot do anything. But you are supremely independent, free. No one and nothing controls you. Param swatantra nasir balako. No one. The Lord is supremely independent, free. No one and nothing controls him. It's written in the scriptures. Shri Krishna says, yes, that is written. But there is a subsection to the law. What is the subsection? Aham bhakta paradhina. I am supremely independent, free. But when it comes to love, those who love me, my bhaktas, who love me above all, who want nothing and no one and nothing but me alone, then you are a bhakt. I love the world and I love Sri Krishna. You're cracked, you're crazy. Bhakti means you love only Sri Krishna. We have only one mind. Either you love the world or you love God. You can't love both. Impossible. Ignorant people say like that. They don't know. And we are taught by ignorant people, so we make the same foolish statements. Those who love Sri Krishna exclusively, they have no attachment for anyone or any person or anything in the world, only Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna says to them, I am no longer free. Paratantra, I am bounded by them. They tie me up with the rope of their love. They bind me and tie me up and makes me dance as a monkey dances to the tune of the train. I am no longer free when it comes to those who love me alone. He becomes a slave to that devotee. That's why he doesn't want to give bhakti. He becomes a slave. He says to Uddhav, Nirapeksham munim shantam niravairam samadarshanam anubrajamiham nityam puetang ghirenu. 11 Canto, 14 chapter, 16 verse. Bhagavad Mahapuran. Shri Krishna says to Uddhav, Uddhav, I run after my fully surrendered devotees, those who love me alone, above everything and everyone, only Shri Krishna. I run after them like a slave. Uddhav asks Shri Krishna, why? To protect them? No, Uddhav, I already do that sitting in their heart. Then why are you running after them? For the dust of their feet, of their lotus feet. That when they walk, the dust of their feet will come on me and I'll be blessed. He becomes a slave to that devotee. राम सदा सेवक रुचिरा की वेद पुराण साधु सुर साखी बोलो
राम 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 राजा राम 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 बोलो राम 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 राजा राम राम राम
Ram sada sevak ruchi rakhi. He loves to serve those who love him, his servants. He becomes a servant of his servant. Sevak. Veda Purana Sadhu Surasaki. The Vedas, the Puranas, the saints, the Devatas all bear witness. So, this divine love is a divine thing. It controls and governs God. It's higher than even Bhagavan. Now, what's the great thing about Gopi? My Guru, for us devotees, that day I told you, Valentine's Day, Lover's Day, as he said, there is no love in the world. All the scriptures are telling us. It's all selfishness. What we call love. As long as we do what a person wants, it could be mother, father, wife, husband, child, friend, whoever. When that husband does what the wife wants, when the wife does what the husband wants, I love you. I have the best wife. My husband is an angel. My husband is a Bhagavan. People say my husband is God. And the same husband, the same wife doesn't do what you want. They may not say it. Some do. We live in a different age now. Before, we keep it quiet. I hate you. I don't care about you anymore. Get out. I don't want to even see you. A father tells his son, my son, can you bring a glass of water from me? And he runs and brings a glass of water. And the father says, Shabash, Shabash. Oh, so wonderful son. I have an angel for his son, Shravan Kumar. A little while afterwards, he says, my son, can you go and bring my slippers for me? And the son continues sitting. Hey! Didn't you hear I said to go and bring my slippers? And the son continues sitting. Hey, Ganesh! I'm telling you to bring my slippers and you're not even hearing. Oh my God! I have a Rakshas, a demon. Ooh, for a son. Just now he was an angel and now he's become a demon. Because he doesn't fulfill our selfishness. The limit of our love for any person or object in the world is directly proportionate to how much that person or object satisfy our selfishness. Sarvesham api bhutanam niswatmaiva niswatmai vallabha Sarvesham api bhutanam niswatmaiva Vallabha itare patta vittadyas tadvallabhata yaivahi. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 10th canto, 14th chapter, 50th verse. Brahma is saying to Sri Krishna, every action of the worldly soul is only for his or her own happiness. The satisfaction of his or her own happiness. It is the reason behind marriage, children, friendship, war, peace, business, and every action in the world. So there's no love. What we call love is selfishness. You don't understand. People think, oh, I feel so much pain, I'm dying. How can you not call this love? Because you're not getting what you want. The amount of happiness we get on the attainment of any person or object in the world is directly proportional to how much pain, suffering we're going to get in the separation or non-attainment or destruction of that. Directly proportional. The same thing, give you happiness, is going to give you pain. It's not love. Love is divine. But there are many different types of love. Even divine love, true love. There are three main categories. So with my guru, he put that name. He said, look, there's no love. You call it Lovers' Day. It's wrong. So he has given a name for us devotees. We celebrate that day. We call it Gopi Prem Divas. The day of the love of the gopis. The highest love. Now what's so special about Gopi Prem? So there are three categories of divine love. True love. We can say A class, B class, C class. C class being the lowest. C class is called Sadharni Rati. B class Samanjasa Rati. And A class Samartha Rati. Sadharni Rati, the lowest, C class. These people, they love Shri Krishna. There's no desire for the world. One who prays to God for the world, I want a good job, I want to get well from sickness, I want to win the lotto, I want to get a nice boy, a beautiful girl, I want to get children. That's not even bhakti. That's not even bhakti. Those people have nothing to do with God. They are praying, they are going to temple, to church, to masjid, but for the world, they want nothing to do with God. Somebody has convinced them by praying to God you will get the world, but they love the world, not God. Or else they'll pray to God for God. So these devotees, they want only Shri Krishna, but only for their happiness. It's called Sakam Bhakti. Another name for this, Sakam. Only my happiness. An example of a devotee of that category is Kubja. Kubja. In the Bhagavad Mahapuran, Kubja is the hunchback. She was a maidservant of Kans. She wanted to satisfy her senses, but not with any man in the world. Only Shri Krishna. She taught about and loved only Shri Krishna. No man, only Shri Krishna, but only for her happiness. She attained Shri Krishna. But she attained the lowest form of divine love, Siddha Bhakti. There are two kinds of bhakti, sadhana bhakti, that which we have to practice, which we have to do, and Siddha Bhakti, which we are going to attain through the grace of a Rasik saint, when our heart becomes completely pure, when we have completely surrendered. And there are 8. Prema Bhakti, Sneh Bhakti, Man Bhakti, Pranay Bhakti, Rag Bhakti, Anurag Bhakti, Bhavish Bhakti, Mahabhav. The lowest Prema Bhakti and the highest Mahabhav. So devotees like Kubja, it's very dangerous, this type of love. Kripalu Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu warns us, don't ever even think about practicing Sakam Bhakti. Kubja attains Shri Krishna, but it's very dangerous. One, when a person loves like that, when the beloved does what you want, when God fulfills your desire, Guru fulfills your desire, does what you want, Jai Ho, Jai Ho, Jai Ho, Hanuman, Jai Ho, Durga. And the day they don't do what you want, mood off. You don't want to hear about them anymore. You don't want to even see them. Such a person will eventually become an atheist. It's very dangerous, even though Kubja's love is glorified in Bhagavad Mahapuran. So the lowest. Higher than that, Samanjasa Rati. This B class. These devotees, they love Shri Krishna like a wife loves a husband. They want Shri Krishna's happiness, but they want their own happiness too. 50-50. Devotees like Rukmini, the descension of Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi herself became Rukmini, Satyabhama, etc. fall in this category. These devotees, they go beyond Prema Bhakti, Sneh Bhakti, Man Bhakti, Pranay Bhakti, Rag Bhakti, Anurag Bhakti. They reach That's as high they can go, not nowhere beyond that. Anurag Bhakti. And A class, the higher than Samanjasarati, Samartharati. The gopis of Vrindavan. These devotees love Sri Krishna only for his happiness. There was not even the tiniest trace equal to the breadth of a single strand of hair for their own happiness in their heart. Whatever the gopis did was only for Sri Krishna. They made themselves beautiful. Everything. But only because with the thought that this will make Sri Krishna happy. They kept their body, took care of it to serve Sri Krishna for his happiness. Only for his happiness. This is what the highest. Naraji says, Tat sukha sukhitvam, to be happy in the happiness of the beloved. This is the highest. The gopis, they transcended Anurag Bhakti, Bhavesh, and they reached Mahabhav, the highest where a soul can go. If we want to attain the highest, then we have to love Sri Krishna like the gopis love Sri Krishna. When you have a guru who is of the highest, the guru will teach you according to what he has attained. He cannot take you higher than him. What he has, that's all he can give. We were so fortunate to have a guru of the highest. There's no higher than him. Radha Rani herself came, descended as Jagat Gurutam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. So he always wanted us to attain the aim for the highest, Gopi Prem. The highest love. There should be no selfishness. Thousands of places we see bhakti. This is what Kag Basundaji asks for, selfless love. When Bhagwan said to Kag Basundaji, asks for riddhis, siddhis, powers to perform miracle, for treasures, for moksha, best of attainment, Kag Basundaji says, Maharaj, these are toys, khilona. Give it to those foolish people who want it. If you really want to give me something, there's something you have that you're not talking about, you hide in it. Bhagwan said, hidden? What are you talking about? You want me to tell you? So Kag Basundaji tells the Lord. अविरल भक्ति विशुद्ध तव श्रुति पुराण जेहि गाव हो रामा श्रुति पुराण जेहि गाव जेहि खोजत योगीश मुनि प्रभु प्रसाद को पाव हो रामा प्रभु प्रसाद को पाव सियावर रामचंद्र कर जय शरण शंकर हरि ओम जय जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम. Avirala Bhakti Vishuddha Tava. Give me that Avirala Bhakti, Vishuddha Bhakti. Shruti Purana Jehigav, the Vedas and all the scriptures are glorifying Avirala Bhakti, Vishuddha Bhakti. Jehi Khojat Yogish Muni, great Yogish Muni Rishi is searching, but only the one upon whom you shower your grace can attain it. Avirala Bhakti means selfless love. That which makes God a slave to the one who gets it. He becomes a slave to that devotee. Shiv Bhagwan is also saying the same thing. to Bhagwan Shri Ram. बार बार वर मांगहूँ हर्ष देव श्री रंग हो रामा हर्ष देव श्री रंग पद सरोज अन पायनी भक्ति सदा सत्संग हो रामा भक्ति सदा सत्संग सियावर रामचंद्र कर जय शरणम शंकर हरि ओम
जय जय सिया राम.
This is so funny. Very funny. Big joke. Many people use this doha from the Ramayana as a close in prayer. They ask God for worldly things. Health, wealth, money, good job, husband, wife, all kind of things they ask, and then they close with this prayer. It seems as though these people either they're crazy or they have no idea what they're saying. It's so funny. What is it saying? Shri Krishna, Shri Ram, the Supreme Lord, is sitting on the throne. He has been coronated in Ayodhya. Everyone is glorifying. The last person to glorify was Shivji. This is Ishtadev. He says, Bara bara varamangahu. Again and again, my Lord, I ask you for something. Bara bara. Harshadeh Shri Rang. If you give it lovingly, if you want to give it, that's fine. If you don't want to give, it's also fine. But I'm asking. Pad Saroj Anapayani Bhakti. Anapayani Bhakti. Pad Saroj, lotus feet. Give me selfless love. Anapayani Bhakti means selfless love. Give me selfless love for your lotus feet. And the holy associations of those Rasik saints who have attained that selfless love for you forever. And people use it as a close in prayer, but most time people don't even know what they're saying. Or it's just words. Because in the heart there is no desire that I want to love you selflessly. You're just asking for all kind of worldly nonsense. It's so funny. You feel like laughing out loud, but then you stay quiet. It's not. It'll be uncivilized to do something like that. This is the gopis. They're much more. Talk about Gopi Prem. Can go on and on and on. There's much more about this Gopi Prem. But just an idea today, as we celebrate in Gopi Prem Divas, this retreat is based on the Gopi Prem Divas. I told many devotees, satsangis, come, experience, get some experiences from Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu by attending this Gopi Prem Divas Sadhana Shiva. Those who come will experience. We have to understand what is this Gopi Prem Divas. So as we celebrate Gopi Prem Divas, just an idea, a little bit about how the gopis love Shri Krishna and what is Gopi Prem. And what is even Prem, what is called love. Remember, what we call love in the world is not love. It's selfishness, lust. Lust means wanting one's own happiness. It's called lust, selfishness. We all want that. Nothing is wrong in wanting happiness. We are a fraction of happiness. It's our nature to want happiness. Everyone is selfish. by nature. But someone has to convince us that that happiness we are looking for, we cannot find it in any person or object in the world. This only a true saint, a Rasik saint. When we associate with a true saint, this knowledge will somehow sit in our intellect by his grace. And then we will look in the right direction. Shri Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran, Vishayandhyataschittam vishayeshu visajjate ma manusmarataschittam mayeva praviliyate. 11 Canto, 14th chapter, 27 verse, Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran. Shri Krishna says, just as a person in the world thinks again and again that he'll find happiness in any person or object in the world, he gets attached to that person or object, and that's what he attains. Wherever you're attached, that's what you're going to attain. There you're going to go after you die. In the same way, if someone has been convinced, and only by the grace of a true Rasik saint, that happiness is only in Shri Krishna, and we think again and again, the method is the same, the way of practice is the same, thinking again and again. But that conviction has to come, that I am the soul, Atma, and the happiness I'm looking for, I'll find only in Shri Krishna. So just like in the world, a girl thinks this boy will make me happy. She's thinking about the boy day and night. A boy thinks this girl will make me happy. He's thinking about that girl. He doesn't even want to eat food, can't sleep. Huh? In the same way, it happens when you do bhakti. When the conviction comes, only Shri Krishna will make me happy. You will think about him again and again and again and again, and you get attached, you fall in love with Shri Krishna. When we fall in love with the world, we keep rotating in 8.4 million forms of life, we go to hell. When we get attached to Shri Krishna, we fall in love with Shri Krishna, we go to Golok, we attain Shri Krishna. That's the difference. All right, so I hope you understand a little bit now about Gopi Prem, about what this thing love is, and what Gopi Prem Divas actually means. The rest we'll hear another time. Bholai Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki jai, Larli Lal ki jai. Right. Anyhow, I close it. So just to mention again our thanks to the sponsor for Bhakti TV tonight for carrying live, Bonanza Drugs of Sawa. Thank you very much. May the Lord shower His choicest blessings upon you and you continue this wonderful work you're doing. Thanks to Bhakti TV, thanks to Pandit Satyanand Maharaj of the Satya Anand Ashram, the producer of Bhakti TV. Bol Radha Rani ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.